बहुत सारे
Hmm.
elderly people, they come and sit, or vice presidents or directors or something or the other in their company,
Hmm.
everyone has this regret now. कौन ये साइको बंदा है जो ऐसे भाग रहा है करके ना. The way
Hmm.
us Indians work, हम लोग को सब बाद में के लिए सेव करके रखते हैं.
Correct. Correct.
And the way
Keep
other
postponing
countries,
everything in life.
exactly.
Hmm.
This guy has climbed Everest 3 times and
Oh, wow.
once without oxygen. That is the level of fitness Shekhawat sir possess. Even at the age of 52, 53 होंगे अभी.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another incredible episode of Trifantry Chronicles, where we speak with ultra endurance athletes, winners from different walks of lives, and people who are spreading the message of longevity and healthy living throughout their careers and through their actions. So, today we have invited a beautiful guest who's done such amazing things in his life, Lieutenant Commander Bijay Nair. Lieutenant Commander Bijay Nair is a Army, Navy war veteran. He's a personnel who's been doing such incredible things using social media as a positive influence to the society. He's also a 4 times TEDx speaker. He is an author and he's a comrades runner. Welcome to the show, sir. It's so great to have you with us today and share the nuggets with the audience.
Yeah, hi, Nishant. First of all, Jai Hind to everyone who's listening to us, both of us. And it's a privilege to be on your show, Trifantry Chronicles, because, I've known you from many years, though we met only in June this year, but I do keep seeing you every year in TMM, wondering who's that, a guy. पहले तो फर्स्ट ईयर ऐसे तो कौन ये साइको बंदा है जो ऐसे भाग रहा है करके ना. Then, couple of two, again, I saw you maybe last year again,
This year,
very,
yeah.
yeah, this year rather.
Yeah.
And I read about you, an article about you, and in June this year, when we met in person, that is where I understood the reason behind that. And
Yeah.
trust me, it's tough. It's not easy because even wearing a dry fit, even wearing a compression, even wearing a half sleeve, even applying all those things everywhere, the lubricants, the Vaselines at the greasing points of your body, still it becomes tough running a 42 in normal attire.
Yeah.
And kudos to you for
Thank you.
doing
Thank
that.
you.
But I'm still amazed, even at this moment, even now I'm amazed कि कैसे हो जाता है करके, how does it happen? But nevertheless, the message which you wanted to give to the society is very impact, and I'm sure more and more people will come to know about you and the message you want to spread. That is the idea behind that. Thanks, Nishant, for
Thank
inviting on your show.
Thanks, sir. I think, as they say, talent recognizes talent. People who actually go through the journey, people who have been practitioners all their lives, only they can understand and appreciate the importance of, I think, fitness in life. And you know, so army personnel, Navy, Air Force, or anyone who's wearing a uniform are by design in an environment where health and fitness are super important. But it is so important for regular civilians or people, Gen Z, or people in the colleges, schools to understand why it is so important. It's not just about being disciplined and all, it is how it changes you as a professional, how it changes you on a personal level, how it impacts your relationships in life. I think so. That's the idea behind all of this, and I'm actually looking forward to the entire conversation. So let's get started. My
Yes,
first,
yes.
yeah. So there's an ongoing debate about senior veterans, senior entrepreneurs who have built billion-dollar companies, saying that 70 hour is the minimum that youngsters should work these days. I want to know your take. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it ugly? Is it bad for health? Is it good for professional career? What is your take on that minimum 70 hours अगर काम नहीं करोगे तो आप successful नहीं होगे life में? What is your take on it?
Uh, you know, my take would be when I was in the Navy, uh, we were always told that our duty is not 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours. Our duty is 24/7, So by joining the armed forces, by getting commission into the forces, you are committing yourself 24 into 7, So there was no timeline per se. At the same time, in that entire tenure of mine, 10 years, seeing almost three ships and other establishments, there was huge importance given to the mental well-being, the physical well-being, and balancing everything in between. So a week sometimes would be as less as 40 hours also. A week sometimes would be as more than 70 plus also. So there was no exactly anything. Uh, but when I joined corporate, that is 2009, when I had that transition, uh, I have seen both side of the corporate. The current organization where I work, they are very much into work-life balance, the theory of work-life balance. They believe in smart work. They believe in smart work. The moment you come to office, you log into office, and then they expect a commitment from you that whatever time you are spending in office, it has to be productive, and at the same time, ensure that you leave office in time so that you can give quality time to your family as well as the commute time. For us, being in the urban city of Mumbai or Delhi or any urban city, uh, other than the work hour, our productive time is also gone in traffic, right? So 1 hour plus one way, 1 hour is the minimum which I'm saying. So 2 hour every day you are in traffic. So effectively that becomes 10 to 12 hours in a week, more than that traffic. And add to that your whatever 9 hours of work, 45, 9 into 5, 45, 45 plus the 12, 14, you are already at 60. That is your basic working 9 hours in a day. So for me, when I read the first chaos and everything started when Sir Narayan Murthy, when he wrote it that 70 hours a week, and there was a huge debate from all the quarters. And even in my office, there were a debate because I don't being heading a division, heading a department, and a lot of people reporting to me. I don't believe in stopping anyone for work, so I focus on the quality. Myself also, as well as for my colleagues who work with me or who's part of my team. But I ensure that when you are working in that 8.5, give your best in that hour, and whatever time you do. So there were these two debates. Ki, as a youngster, if you don't put rather than quality, quantity, 70 hours or 80 hours or whatever. Some even said that we work 90 hours and all. You may not, learn, you may not upgrade your skill, you may not be reliable, you may not be, there is a beautiful term which one of my seniors use. Are you still, are you still valid, in that company? So there are people who slog for hours and hours, and hours. And again, it depends on the sector which you work in also.
Correct.
IT sector, and Murthy sir was from the IT sector. So probably his saying of 70 hours there would be like, he had worked through that. But someone who's in manufacturing sector, there are shifts, there are people working in shifts and things like that. So I don't believe in this theory ki compulsorily you have to spend 70 hours or 90 hours to learn or become a good individual or upgrade your skill or things like that.
Right.
So my personal take is focus more on quality rather than quantity. And yes, deadlines जब होता है तो each individual as फौज में जैसे हम थे तो each one of us, irrespective of our ranks, आप अगर soldier, sailor भी हो, junior most person से लेके senior most, everyone is committed to that goal of achieving that particular deadline for that target.
Yeah.
कोई नहीं उठ के जाएगा. Even like any one of
Correct.
us, and I'm 100% sure, like at least 90% of workforce in our country, they won't just run away from commitment. उनको
Correct.
मालूम है commitment है. I've seen people अभी भी दो मुझे लगता था कि फौज में ऐसे होता है. The inspectors which whom we work. So I had a division of third party inspection.
Hmm.
You know, currently I had operations and the quality training and risk. So my inspectors, the engineers who goes to various sectors,
Hmm.
right from building and infrastructure to oil and gas to power and process to renewable,
Hmm.
you name anything, we are there. When
Hmm.
our people go there, I was surprised about a guy whom I just heard. He's what 53 years, and I was told that wherever he goes for inspection, he is the last person to leave that organization.
Wow.
And everyone will be after him कि sir आप आज नहीं करते बस करो बस करो बस करो. And his thing was no, I'm committed क्योंकि मुझे एक मंडे का पैसा दिया गया and I have to finish this, you know. So my
Hmm.
commitment is to my principal who has appointed me here, and that becomes a commitment.
Hmm.
So the answer to that question is there is no defined working
Correct.
hours. So focus more on quality rather than
Cool.
quantity. क्योंकि ना क्या
Absolutely.
होता है काफी लोग का ये भी बिलीफ है मैंने देखा है कॉर्पोरेट में क्योंकि आई हैव सीन बोथ साइड नाउ तो
Hmm.
आई हैव सीन पीपल कमिंग एंड जस्ट सिटिंग इन ऑफिस यू नो जस्ट
Yeah.
सिटिंग ऑफिस भले लैपटॉप पे कुछ और करता होगा बट वो जो आवर्स वर्किंग आवर्स
Correct.
लॉग इन दैट वर्किंग आवर्स की ठीक है मैं
Yeah.
ऑफिस में बैठ करके
Correct.
उसका क्या फायदा है उसका तो कोई फायदा नहीं है सो या सो
Absolutely.
स्मार्ट वर्क which is specific, measurable, achievable, result oriented, time bound.
Correct.
Yes,
Smart
that
goal.
is what smart goals.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think you've hit the nail on its head. It's important to define what are your deliverables. If it'll require you to travel, then you travel. If it requires you to sit long hours, then you sit long hours. If you can get it done in an hour smartly, why not go ahead and do that? So I think those times जहाँ पे वो फैक्ट्री वाला एक सेटअप होता था कि लॉग इन करो लॉग आउट करो जितना घंटा आप रहोगे या फिर एक स्पेसिफिक सर्विस इंडस्ट्री में जब आवरली पेमेंट होती है तो प्रोबेबली वहां पे दिस थिंग माइट वर्क द लॉन्गर यू वर्क द मोर यू अर्न बट frankly I feel that in the age of AI, in the age of productivity tools, in the age of internet and faster travels and more connectivity, it is easier to get more things done rather than just counting the number of hours. At the end of the day, we are any which ways, even if you're working for 45 hours or 50 hours, you are any which ways spending 60% of your waking hours. अगर आप उसमें भी आप बोलोगे मैं 60 70 80 घंटे नौकरी में ही दूंगा तो then there is no joy in life in pursuing other things which make up for it. Ultimately, why are you working? You're working for your first of all your health, your family, enjoying a little bit here and there for your nation and other things, right? So if you're only doing this in a unidirectional way, तो वो I think वो आपकी growth stunted हो जाएगी as an individual, and that burnout would be much higher, is what I believe.
Very
But
true.
वही है.
In fact,
Hmm.
in my society, there is a place where a lot of elder people, एक bench है वहाँ पे, बहुत
Hmm.
सारे elderly people, they come and sit. All of them were either vice presidents or directors or something or the other in their company, you know. And AI generation and हमारे tech generation से पहले वाली generation, hardcore. And
Correct.
when you cross here their talk or I interact with them because कोई LMT में थे बड़े पोजीशन पे कोई you know all the engineering majors और कोई गल्फ में था everyone has this regret now. Let me tell you
अच्छा.
very frankly. वो यही बोलते थे कि we always believed, you know, working रात को गए नहीं ओवर टाइम किए you are there, you know, बच्चे when kids were growing up, this is the
Hmm.
irony, you know, कि when kids were growing up, mother took care or the wife जो होते हैं बच्चों के
Hmm.
मम्मी they took care of the you know the entire aspect of kids growth, schooling से लेके the
Hmm.
well-being से लेके father used to be there, a pseudo presence used to be there, वो जाते थे whenever he was in town and they earned tons of money, you know, घर
Hmm.
बनाए 2 flats है ये है. And by the time they were like 50s, into 50s, in
Hmm.
a very senior position, vice president or whatever, they were still traveling, still struggling. And तब तक बच्चे क्या हुए कि बच्चे all of them grew up. they got educated, कोई engineering कर लिया, economy खुल गई, market ये हो गया, IT sector ये हो गया, and every other chap of my generation, more or less after engineering, everyone moved out, other states है. अब सभी के बच्चे abroad है, and they are here. So what they say, by the time they retired, their kids had already passed through that phase of adulthood. वो खुद ही बाहर सेटल हो गए, बच्चे उनके हैं, अब उनको आने के लिए टाइम नहीं है. Now these people are all lonely. पैसे है ठीक है. So their advice is कि हमने सोचा था we will enjoy with everything जब आगे जाके इतना सेव करके इतना मेहनत करके, बट अब जो वो स्टेज जब आया, मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर इल हेल्थ, किसी का पैर दुख रहा है, किसी का ये, किसी का. तो उनका कहना ये था कि यार लिव लाइफ एट प्रेजेंट. मोस्ट ऑफ देम एडवाइस जाते ना, बोलते अरे दे कॉल मी बिजू, बोलते कि बिजू डोंट slog smartly, slog smartly, give time to your family. नहीं तो ये हो जाएगा टिपिकल हमारी, द वे वी वर्क, द वे अस इंडियंस वर्क, हम लोग को सब बाद में के लिए सेव करके रखते हैं.
Correct.
And the way other
postponing
countries,
everything in life.
Exactly. So like you travel, I travel a lot. हम लोग एयरपोर्ट पे देखते हैं कि मोस्ट ऑफ अस इंडियंस हम लोग ट्रैवल करें बिजनेस के लिए, अपना एक बिजनेस कैबिन सूटकेस होगा, एक लैपटॉप होगा. देयर वुड बी सम फॉरेनर्स, यंग कपल्स, और ये वो लोग इंडिया में वेकेशन के लिए आते हैं. सो देयर थियरी इज कमाओ एंड लीव लाइफ इन प्रेजेंट, वेयरएज वी बिलीव सेव करो और बाद में देखते हैं,
60 के बाद देखेंगे,
तब तक हेल्थ वेल्थ सब कुछ चला गया होगा, एंड देन
कितने सारे ब्रांड्स का एक वो टैगलाइन भी याद आ रहा है, जैसे आपने बोला 60 के ठाठ. आई मीन लिटरली यू आर ट्राइंग टू टेल पीपल कि 60 के बाद ठाठ आएगा. अभी छोड़ो, अभी सेव करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, विच इज राइट इन अ वे, बट जो एंजॉय करना है आप 60 के बाद करना. तो तब तक क्या लाइफ का जॉय, रस होता है, खाना पीना, घूमना, वो सब खत्म हो जाता है.
So coming back to that same thing, जो हम लोग क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट किए थे, which we started, everything is about balancing, you should know how to balance.
100%. Yep. Excellent. I think viewpoint, it might help the audience. In fact, what I see is कि specifically जो हमारी audience है, आपकी भी और मेरी भी, जो ऑलरेडी फिटनेस के से सम वे में रिलेटेड है, कुछ अल्ट्रा फिटनेस में है, कुछ स्मॉल 10 के 21 के रेंज में है, या 5 के. तो आई थिंक दे हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन द फर्स्ट स्टेप इन लाइफ कि दिस इज व्हाट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. तो आप ये चीज करते रहोगे तो बाय डिफॉल्ट आई थिंक एग्जिस्टिंग भी ठीक रहेगा, और 50, 55, 60, 70 के बाद भी आपको बेटर ही फील होने वाला है. सो आई थिंक जिसने समझ लिया है वो चीज की हेल्थ से इम्पोर्टेंट कुछ नहीं है, तो वो तो already एक अच्छी लाइफ जी रहा है.
Very true, very true.
Yeah. All right. So, sir, segueing to a different question. Now, global stage पे, there are a couple of big personalities. One called David Goggins, जिनकी बहुत सारी motivational videos, किताबें भी आती हैं. इनफैक्ट मैं आपसे एक शेयर करना चाहूंगा. ये रही उनकी किताब, मैंने भी पढ़ी है, You Can't Hurt Me.
Can't hurt me.
Yeah, so he's a pretty famous person in terms of motivation, and he's probably known as the world's hardest individual who does all these crazy 200, 300, 400 milers. If US can have a David Goggin, do you feel that in India there are equally hardened people who have been through the para SF, the Navy SEALs, the various types of talent forces, commando forces in India? Do we have such kind of talent in India? And if yes, why aren't they as commercialized or as famous? Why can't we derive such motivation from our Indian superheroes who are your colleagues and probably who've also been through this training?
Exactly. Now, so when we talk about David Goggins, all of us are in awe of him, and story is amazing. So whenever any youngster, whenever like Instagram या कहीं पे मुझे देख लिया या कहीं पे कर लिया, वो यही बोलते कि सर डेविड गॉगिन्स जैसे बनना है आपको करके, like that is what David Goggins have created a image of himself, and through his act, definitely through his act, for he's a super individual. Trust me, हमारे यहाँ पर भी there are super individuals, like whether they are from the para-SF, for the Marine Commandos, for the Garuds, for the Cobras or anywhere. I have seen personally, I was with the Special Forces unit for 2 years in a Special Forces base for 2 years as a technical officer. So I have seen their training closely, very,
Hmm.
very closely. And, again, that मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ ना कि वो हरियाणा की मिट्टी होती है ना कि 80% of these guys are from Haryana,
Hmm.
whether para-SF, Marcos या Garud. They are inborn, they are inborn उनमें ये. So I have known certain individuals like there is Brigadier Shekhawat sir, very famous personality, one of the most decorated Indian officer who's still serving, serving. He's a Kirti Chakra, he's a Shaurya Chakra, he's a Sena Medal Gallantry twice, he's a VSM, I guess. So, सारे ये, this guy has climbed Everest 3 times and
Oh, wow.
once without oxygen. एक
Excellent.
बार without oxygen climb किया. And उनका routine ही वही होता है कि I've heard from his coachmates, lot of coachmates, कि अगर आप शेखू बोलते हैं उसको, शेखू से मिलने जाओ तो ये नहीं होता है कि दारू या ये, पहला चीज होता है कि सुबह वो 5 बजे उठा देगा आपको 10 किलोमीटर रन कराने के लिए. That is the level of fitness शेखावत सर possess. Even at the age of 52-53 होंगे अभी 52 के आसपास होंगे 52-53.
Correct.
So he's one individual whom Fauji people revere across the services. Telling that Marcos को मैंने close में देखा, there are crazy guys, like back to back full marathon करेंगे. मतलब कोई ऐसे था जो फोर्स बैचलर थे या बैचलर थे यूनिट में इन मार्कोस ईस्ट विशाखापट्टनम, दैट इज भीमलीपट्टनम में एक यूनिट था. वो दिन भर भागते थे. देयर ओनली हॉबी वाज टू रन. सुबह 7 बजे से स्टार्ट करेंगे 6:30-7 एंड सडनली व्हेन वी आर गोइंग आउट या सैटरडे को व्हेन वी आर कमिंग ही स्टिल रनिंग. तो बोलता सर अभी 84 किलोमीटर हुआ है, 85 किलोमीटर हुआ है करके and then swimming कर रहे हैं. Swimming तो Marcos guys are तो they can swim hours and hours together.
Oh wow.
Only thing क्या हुआ है कि social media का advent happened a decade back जहाँ Facebook and things came, and unfortunately Forge is still restricted. They have restricted social media even today. Legally they are not allowed. बात अलग है, people still use this, but legally they are not allowed. So for all these people to come in a way out कि लोग उनको देखे and all, the avenues are very, very less. I remember when I came out of service in 2009 and when I started running again, distance running again. So कोई भी event, we were one of those first runners in Mumbai. First, बोलते हैं ना, initial clan of road runners in Mumbai.
Right.
So धीरे धीरे आर्टिकल्स वगैरह सब जगह आने लगे. तो तब तक नेवी की में जो एवरी ईयर फिजिकल्स होती है, एवरी ईयर यू हैव टू क्लियर योर फिजिकल टेस्ट, बीपीटी जिसको बोलते हैं. So there are certain 1.6 किलोमीटर इतने में भागना है. There are many such parameters to be done, and each officer or men have to clear that. So उनका base fitness somewhere is there.
Correct.
So when people started seeing articles about me कि एक veteran ex-naval officer is doing so and so run, marathons, Bagra ultra marathon, then they started wondering कि why not we service में आके. And that is how the advent of Indian Navy half marathon happened. Long back.
Excellent.
एक Admiral Swaminathan sir थे, who's super fit guy. They were the people who brought this Indian Navy half marathon, Western Naval Command, and now that is one of those huge half marathons in India. November 19th. वहां से Navy started again focusing on ultra या endurance sports. So now Navy has an endurance team. Endurance team. उसमें there are officers whom I know or men whom I know they are super duper, you know. एक
Yeah.
संजय कुमार बोल के है, एक राम
Yeah.
कुमार is amazing, dear friends, both of them. ये लोग कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी भागे, both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. I'm aware.
And then there are people who are doing Ultraman. There's a guy
Yeah.
who did Ultraman. So awareness came bit
Rahul
late.
Turan, Lieutenant Rahul Turan, he was there.
हाँ,
He came on the podcast last season.
अच्छा, is
So
it?
he's now in Marcos. So exceptional guy. His journey started. Rahul Turan, again, you know, like you said, Haryanvi Buddhi plus फौज का एकदम जज्बा plus वो Marcos, and he started his Ironman journey without having a cycle, nothing, no practice, nothing. जीरो से शुरू किया और 10 महीने में पहला आयरन करने से अल्ट्रामैन करने की जर्नी उसकी थी 10 महीने की, which typically would take maybe 5-7 years, maybe more.
Exactly,
Focused. तो
exactly.
10 महीने में तो आए थे पॉडकास्ट पे, but yeah, like I agree with you. There are
So
so many live examples, people who are
they
doing
realized
maybe
bit
more
late.
credible things also.
Exactly. So they realized bit late कि Navy ने, but now Army, Navy and all have very strong endurance team. If you see all those run जो यहाँ पर होता है, लेह लद्दाख वगैरह में जो रन होता है, that 555 and all, most
Yeah.
of the या hell race जो होता है, all the podium finishers are from the Army, Navy. You know? So endurance by virtue of their training in the forces, they already have. पहले तो जबरदस्ती कराते हैं, ट्रेनिंग जबरदस्ती ट्रेनिंग कराते, you know, like you have to finish. आज I was telling someone, आज when I ran and someone asked me, sir, आज तो एकदम आराम से भाग रहे थे. मैं बोला ठीक है यार, एज हो गया, and we are the people who have run 10 kilometer at 42 minutes and all, because that was the minimum you have to run.
Of course.
Option
And
नहीं था.
you will still be the last ones to finish.
Exactly. For 42 minutes, 43 minutes used to be the last enclosure.
Yeah.
तो एनक्लोजर का चक्कर होता है ना, वहां कैसे होता है
Of
कि
course.
एकेडमीज में, आई एम श्योर यू नो, कि पहला बंदा आ गया एंड ही वुड बी नेशनल रनर टाइप्स, यू नो, एकेडमी का टॉप होगा, वो आने के बाद हर 1.5 मिनट के बाद एनक्लोजर क्लोज होना चालू होते हैं, एंड देयर आर 6 एनक्लोजर, एंड invariably a guy who's doing 42 minutes 10K is in the last enclosure. So every guy does 42 minutes 10K, 43 minutes 10K, you know. So so
the slowest
that
ones.
yeah, and that is how I've seen you know, one more officer who's अभी सर्विस में है, he's done Kashmir to Kanyakumari now, and he's done 42 I think more than 80 full marathons in 80 days. There's a lieutenant 83 rather, there's a
Yeah,
lieutenant,
he's also a good friend.
yeah,
Devdutt.
so Dev, Dev.
Yeah.
So Dev was posted in academy. The Mala में posted था, तो you know, first मैं उसको वही पूछता था, साला क्यों भाग रहा है every day करके. But again, a Haryanvi, again coming back to that question. So yes, given a chance, I'm sure there are people who can be a David Goggins from India, you know.
From India, yeah. Excellent. So, sir, I would like to ask another question from the corporate perspective. Now, आपने इंडियन नेवी में लगभग 2 decades सर्व किया. You were part of a very high stress situations. Even ऑपरेशन तलवार में भी आप मैंने आपकी टेड टॉक सुनी है और आपने उसमें भी पार्टिसिपेट किया था. By default, Indian Army personnel, Navy personnel, Air Force personnel are put in high stress environments, and your job is such that despite the high stress environment, you go through the mental resilience and training. How do you think can civilians and civilian organization and corporates and startups inculcate some of the फौज की जो techniques होती हैं to make their employees more resilient to stress and perform at the highest level?
You know, when we were in academy, जब हम academy में after 12th, if you go through ND or INA, you go after 12th, you know. I missed that opportunity because I was selected for ND, medical reasons I couldn't, and thereafter after engineering I went again. So academy में I used to wonder, वो जो छोटे छोटे चीज कराते हैं ना, like say after engineering you are what 21, 22, and then when you go land up in a academy, यू आर पार्ट ऑफ अ स्क्वाड्रन, एनी ऑफ द स्क्वाड्रन, तो नाम नमक निशान वाला आ जाता है कि स्क्वाड्रन के लिए सब कुछ, you will kill for that squadron, die for that squadron.
Yes.
तो हमारे स्क्वाड्रन, आई वाज फ्रॉम द फ्रिगेट्स स्क्वाड्रन नेवी का, तो हमारे स्क्वाड्रन में ऐसे बहुत सारे जो डॉर्मेटरीज होती थी और ये होते थे जहाँ कैडेट्स रहते थे. वी वेर एज वाइज सीनियर बिकॉज वी वेर इंजीनियर्स, एंड वहाँ 12 के बाद के बच्चे भी थे. तो INA, बिकॉज INA इज अकेडमी फॉर एवरीथिंग, and by virtue of they being in academy for longer time, they become senior to us in academy. रियल लाइफ में बाद में फिर से जूनियर बन जाते हैं, बट एकेडमी में सीनियर करते हैं. इमेजिन समवन हु 21 22 और ये 12 के बाद के बच्चे हु लाइक लिटरली 4 years younger to you and they are senior to you, and वो ऐसे ऐसी चीजें करा रहे हैं कि दे विल पनिश यू. मुर्गा बना के एक बच्चा आपसे 4 साल जूनियर, मतलब यू आर इन द 4th year ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, और जो बच्चा 12वीं पास करके आ रहा है वो आपको पनिशमेंट दे रहा है.
करेक्ट.
इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में आपका ईगो इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग. आई वाज द जनरल सेक्रेटरी आल्सो कॉलेज का. तो आप 4th year में तो आप भगवान होते हैं इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज. देन इमेजिन अ 12th स्टैंडर्ड गाय गिविंग यू पनिशमेंट, वो भी मुर्गा बना के बच्चा. आपका ईगो इज शैटर्ड, ईगो इज शैटर्ड. एंड देन समबडी विल से, जो सीनियर होगा, डॉर्मेटरी सीनियर होगा, ही इज आल्सो यंगर टू अस बाय एज, वो बोलेगा कोल्ड कॉफी वहां आया, मेरे लिए भी एक कप लेके आओ करके. तो एवरी डे आपको आपका ईगो पीना पड़ता है. देन स्क्वाड्रन के चक्कर में दे विल मेक यू अनाउंसमेंट कराने भेज देते हैं. सो अनाउंसमेंट इज लाइक यू हैव टू रन एवरी, जहां भी बाईपास होगा बीच में, यू हैव टू मुंह पे ऐसे हाथ लगा के, there is a particular squadron song you have to sing, pay attention. हमारे उसमें ऐसे था, pay attention, brigade squadron, morning muster. And वो जब ऐसे जोर से चिल्ला के गाता होगा ना, अपने को मन में लगता होगा कि साला क्या कर रहे करके ना. मतलब चल क्या रहा है, लाइक यू आर वेरी इंजीनियरिंग ग्रेड एंड ये बच्चे तुमसे
क्या कर रहा हूँ.
एंड हर छोटी छोटी चीज, व्हेन यू आर इन, जब डाइनिंग मेस में जाते हैं, आजू बाजू में यही बच्चे बैठेंगे हु सीनियर टू इन एकेडमी. आपको खाना खाने नहीं देंगे, स्क्वायर मील करा रहा है कोई, सर्कल मील करा रहा है, हर खाने के पहले ऐसे गोल घुमा के खाने का, एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. एंड आई यूज्ड टू वंडर कि क्यों कर रहे हैं लोग. एंड देन आई गॉट दैट आंसर लेटर. दे आर बिल्डिंग यू मेंटली स्ट्रांग, दे आर मेकिंग यू मेंटली स्ट्रांग. इतना टॉर्चर बोलते हैं हम उसको, बट दे आर मेकिंग यू मेंटली सो स्ट्रांग. द आइडिया बिहाइंड इज दैट इफ टुमारो you are caught as prisoner of war or something, this is what, yeah, probably इससे भी बेकार treatment मिलेगा when you are in prisoner of war. So they built you for that day. So your mental resilience becomes so hard, and then you have to take your emotional intelligence becomes so strong, because your EQ जो है, because see, we are dealing with people, whether you are in military or whether you are corporate, you are dealing with people. मिलिट्री है तो एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड वे है, स्टिल यू आर डीलिंग विद पीपल, देयर इमोशंस, एंड वो इमोशन, वो टर्बुलेंस, वो हैप्पीनेस, वो माइंडफुलनेस, उसमें यू हैव टू टेक अ डिसीजन. फौज टीचर्स यू टू मेक डिसीजन इन शॉर्टेस्ट पॉसिबल टाइम, एंड that to a correct decision which will impact the life of your men, people who are there, the ammunitions, the equipment which you are carrying, and the security of your entire nation. So similarly, if corporate can adapt that, corporate have to think differently, because some good organization, they spend a lot of time on training, they spend a lot of time on leadership, but 90% of the organization in our country, unko kya, it's like you are a resource. So the moment you become a resource, things are totally different. ये क्या तो my resource. We also call कि अच्छा मुझे resource चाहिए. He will not say कि निशान चाहिए, विजय चाहिए, मुझे एक resource चाहिए. और resource का जो life cycle होता है उतना ही होता है जो shelf life होता है ना. And the moment corporate starts thinking beyond that resource culture, wherein they will build people. This will be the people who will take that organization. Right. So lot of organization are taking this step. So when you build people, there are so many things which will come: the leadership aspect, the emotional aspect, the dealing aspect, the वो जो बोलते हैं ना कि attachment to the organization aspect, the
Yeah.
value, the core, the value. नहीं तो आजकल even in my organization, like there is a moving population, you know. When
Hmm.
we see, when we compare them with the people who are there regularly, वो attachment ही नहीं है organization
Right.
के लिए.
Right.
They are
स्विच
here,
मारते रहो,
shift
इतना
मारते
मिले
रहो.
यहाँ स्विच मार जाओ, वहां घर के पास है 4 किलोमीटर तो वहां स्विच कर लो, हर साल स्विच
Exactly.
कर लो, डेजिग्नेशन के लिए स्विच कर लो.
Exactly. So answer to that question again is that once corporates start realizing,
Hmm.
and a lot of corporates have started adopting that military culture in their
Hmm.
organization. I'm not saying कि वो brigadier साहब, general साहब जैसे strict बनना है.
Right.
You should have a conducive environment where
Hmm.
win-win scenario should happen. Along with the growth of the company, the growth of individuals should also be given a chance. यहाँ मैंने देखा है कि leadership जो हम बोलते हैं ना यहाँ पर, the leadership unfortunately ये है कि the leaders feel the moment I start developing a youngster,
Hmm.
वो मेरा पोजीशन साला खा लेगा करके, you know. Company,
होता है.
company when it comes to cost cutting, and if my the second one or the third one whom I am developing, वो तो young है, AI
Hmm.
generation का बंदा, he is technically much more savvy and all. Experience wise he may not, but ठीक है, company can still manage. Whereas the
Hmm.
cost of an individual जिसका 60-70 लाख cost होगा, ये बच्चे 20-22-25 लाख में कर लेंगे, तो their feeling is कि हमको उड़ा देंगे करके.
Correct.
वो चक्कर में everything happens in an
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah. True. True.
So yeah, so military life से बहुत कुछ सीखे हैं, you know, and
Right.
we have always been told to develop our youngsters first and things like that, and
Hmm.
that decision making power in a emotional turbulence, you know. So yes,
Hmm.
I think all the organization should learn a lesson
Correct.
or pick up lesson from the military leadership or the
Military.
military style of working.
Correct. 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 आई थिंक दैट फौज वाली जो चीज होती है ना, वो कमराडरी कि अगर कुछ भी होगा तो आई कैन फुली एंड कंप्लीटली डिपेंड ऑन द अदर पर्सन, माई यूनिट, माई प्लेटून, whoever I'm working with, you are completely and fully trusting them, you're trusting the process, you're trusting the training, you're trusting your equipment, you are trusting everything with each of them with your life. So that camaraderie I think is built over a period of time, the training experience, वो सब चीजों के साथ आता है. और आई थिंक यहीं पे वो प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे जहाँ पे बहुत ज्यादा इटरेशन होता है, 20 30 40 50%, आज लोग आ रहे हैं जा रहे हैं, nobody is there, and even if people are coming, you're trying to train them, people are not sticking around because maybe that conducive environment, that push pull is not there. तो कहीं ना कहीं वो एक चीज है. दूसरी चीज मैंने एक ये नोटिस करी है कि आज के टाइम में ना थोड़ा सा, जैसे पहले हमारे टाइम पे, या अभी इतने बूढ़े भी नहीं हुए बट फिर भी हमारा वो थ्रेशोल्ड ऑफ एक्सेप्टिंग, अगर बॉस ने, बड़ों ने, पेरेंट्स ने, स्पाउस ने, फ्रेंड ने कुछ बोला तो आप सुनोगे. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप बोल दोगे कि पहली चीज बोली एंड एट द फर्स्ट ड्रॉप ऑफ हैट यू विल जस्ट रिजाइन एंड लीव, कि अरे ब्रेकअप, अरे तू कौन होता है मुझे कुछ कहने वाला, आई विल लीव, आई हैव 10 opportunities. Of course everyone has opportunities, but can you stick around and see it through? वो जो चीज है ना कहीं मिसिंग होती जा रही है. बिकॉज चलो ठीक है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज आ रही हैं, बट आप एक बार पुश तो करके देखो. पहले 5 7 10 किलोमीटर तो सबके लिए इजी होते हैं ना, 12 तो
Very
करो,
true.
16 तो, 20 तो करो, 22 तो करो,
Very true.
40 तो करो, फिर
Very true.
पता
Very
चलेगा.
true. Very true.
Yeah. All right. So another interesting aspect of your life, of course, we have discussed that you are a war veteran and you were there in the forces. Now you're leading a very successful civilian life also as a leader in one of the leading shipping companies. Uh, and you have somehow been related to fitness for about 25 30 years, if not the entire time, right? मैंने आपकी काफी सारी स्टोरीज बचपन की भी सुनी है. बॉम्बे में आपने चौल से स्टार्ट किया था और कितनी सारी स्ट्रगल्स के बाद, कितने एग्जाम्स देने के बाद आपने एग्जाम्स क्लियर किए मल्टीपल टाइम्स. हमारी जो ऑडियंस है, दे आर मोर ऑन फिटनेस एंड हेल्थ एंड अल्ट्रा फिटनेस. सो from your experience of decades of being an army personnel and now continuing your comrades marathons and ultra marathon, I want to ask you certain mantras or certain tips or tricks or discipline which are timeless in nature. So जितनी भी टेक्नोलॉजी आ जाए, जितने भी सेंसर आ जाए, जितने भी cadence ये वो शूज वूज सब आ जाए, what do you think are 3 4 5 things which are timeless in nature, and those principles will hold true for the future generation who might be watching this today?
Yeah, so we all have to accept that why are we there was a very interesting uh, reel which I just happened to scroll through couple of days. Uh, there's a guy who's cycling, a young guy who's cycling, and then उसके बाद उसका पैर दुखता है साइकिल कर करके then
Hmm.
someone suggests कि यार साइकिल इतना क्यों करता है करके ना, buy a bike to come to office and all. So he sheds that cycle and he buys a bike. तो बाइक चलाता है, फिर यहाँ वहाँ ट्रिप जाता है, या तो वो बार्गेन में साइकिलिंग टेक्स अ बैक सीट, you know.
Hmm.
He's biking now. He has a group in the weekend.
Hmm.
दौड़ करके जाता है. And then
Hmm. Hmm.
after few years, he's happy, he's passionate, but वो बोलता है नहीं यार अब पीठ दुख रहा है करके, पीठ दुख रहा है, तो फिर someone suggests यार अब बाइक छोड़ दे because एक्सीडेंट भी होता है, पीठ भी दुखता है. Buy a car. Why don't you buy a car? बाइक साइड पे हो जाता है. He buys a car now. कार है तो कार चलाता है, एवरी डे इज कमिंग, वॉक भी नहीं करता है, धीरे धीरे ये तोंद आने लगती है एंड वो थोड़ा मोटा होता है and then after a few years someone say और ये तोंद आ गया, now what to do? फिटनेस के लिए साइकिलिंग चालू करो, so that comes to the recycling aspect. So the beautiful message out of this entire thing was कि health is something which you cannot take granted. Cannot take granted. And trust me, I have seen you would have tons of money at some stage. Yes, having money is must, and it is beautiful feeling to have money, definitely, no doubt about it. But at the same time, if you're compromising on your health, the biggest lie someone can tell to themselves is that मेरे पास time नहीं है. That is the biggest universal lie in this. यूनिवर्सल लाई, यानी इससे बड़ा झूठ नहीं है कि मेरे पास टाइम नहीं. एंड वो इन दैट रिलीम या वो उसमें पीपल आर लिविंग, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं, बोलो मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. So as an endurance athlete, both of us are endurance athletes. Time निकालना पड़ता है. Time निकालना पड़ता है. Whether we are traveling, we do anything, time निकालना पड़ता है. So fitness and health has to be on top of your priority. Top of your priority. There is no excuse. And whatever sports you choose, yes, endurance sport is a different ball game. But whatever sports you choose, you have to ensure that you love that sports. So the first thing which comes to one of the takes for me is that one is it's a requirement. There is no second thought about it. Second thing is you have to be passionate about that sport. So our sport, endurance sport, is all about passion. It's all about passion. I remember being a student, whatever student, an engineering college maybe. I have never woken up at 4:30 self-propelled. Self-propel होके मैं कभी नहीं उठाऊं, क्योंकि मुझे मालूम है मेरी पढ़ाई भी नहीं हुई है इंजीनियरिंग की, कल एग्जाम है, फिर भी नहीं उठाऊं 4:30. ठीक है, 40 माँ गया वहां से मार लेंगे कहीं से. और आज के डेट में, as early as today morning, when I went for a run, waking time is 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, in spite of, so when you want to wake up at 4 o'clock, you plan your previous days, previous night, you sleep early so that, you get a good sleep. And why does an individual wake up at 4 o'clock? He drives close to 45 minutes to reach an NCPA or Kharghar or anywhere. And he's happy. He's not cribbing also. वो अपना ट्वीट लेके and इतना करके जाके वहां 25 किलोमीटर भागेगा again body को ये करके. Why do we do that? Because the very underlying and the very basic thing is passion. Right. If you don't have passion, जैसे फौज में हम बोलते हैं ना, all the youngsters, lot of youngsters are attached. Instagram पे काफी लोग बोलते हैं. So the first thing I always tell him that फौज is not about money. You will not get money. Period. 2 लाख 3 लाख, you cannot कि ना मेरे को बहुत पैसे मिलेगा, नहीं मिलेगा है, because of government think what they follow a pay commission and all. It is all about passion. If you don't have that passion, don't join the armed forces, you know. Uniform का
Absolutely.
glamour and all is fine, but वो ज्यादा नहीं टिकेगा अगर passion नहीं
Hmm.
होगा.
Hmm.
Similarly, endurance sport is also all about passion.
Yeah.
So once that passion comes, so फिर all the cascading things starts happening. You start planning, you start mixing your sports, you start working out, you start
Hmm.
anything and everything that is required for that sport of
Hmm.
endurance. Like since you are a triathlete, I'm a ultra runner, so not
Hmm.
into triathlons yet, but we know what is required for our sports. तो मुझे मालूम है कि अगर मुझे 89 किलोमीटर या 90 के लिए ट्रेन करना है, I will also have to go to gym. I will also have to put strength training. I will also have to plan my nutrition. I will
Correct.
also have to plan my sleep. I will also have to see my medicals, you know,
Hmm.
annual medicals या जो भी है,
Yeah.
because we are on the like at least for me, I'm on the wrong side of 40s now. So
Hmm.
so ये सारी cascading things come with that one underlying thing called passion.
Yeah.
Then you start researching, you start reading, then you start following role models.
Yeah.
Start following role models. ऐसे blindly ये नहीं. So there are people, they may be younger to us, they may be
Hmm.
very elder to us, they may be a man, they may be a woman, anybody. You
Hmm.
start believing in role models.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking about uh, quality में हम, there is a very beautiful term called continual improvement, you know,
Hmm.
or what we call progression. Then you start thinking about progression. अच्छा मैं
Hmm.
अभी 10 किलोमीटर भाग रहा हूँ, तो can I do a half marathon?
Hmm.
You are asking it to yourself.
Yeah.
Can I do a half marathon? Like जैसे we discussed earlier कि I know कि मैं 10 किलोमीटर तक भाग सकता हूँ. And once I come out that comfort zone of 10,
Hmm.
the day I run 11 kilometer, I know कि अरे यार मैं 11 भी कर सकता हूँ. And then there
Hmm.
are people running 21. Can I do that? You know.
Yeah.
So that progression starts happening. So
Yeah.
21 say someone would want to run 42, someone want to do 90,
Correct.
someone want to change or shift into the ultimate shift into triathlon,
Yeah.
half Ironman kiya, full Ironman kiya. Opportunities are endless. You start
Yeah.
getting opportunities. It is endless.
Endless.
You start, everything starts revolving around that. So there is a discipline which comes to you, you know.
Right.
Okay, you are a party animal. You would love partying. You know that when to party, when to stop.
Hmm.
You know when to give the family.
Hmm.
होता है कि family time अभी जरूरी है करके. फिर एक वो प्रोग्रेसिव साइकिल होता है. प्रोग्रेस
Hmm.
प्रोग्रेस प्रोग्रेस एक ट्रफ पे क्रस्ट पे पहुंच जाएगा. देन यू रियलाइज कि यू आर ऑब्सेस्ड.
Hmm.
यार ऑब्सेशन हो गया, मैं हर वीक जा रहा हूँ. नाउ आई एम बिकमिंग सेल्फिश.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you the entire cycle. यहाँ पहुंच
Cycle.
के obsessed हो गए.
We've all been through it. So.
Yes, मुझे लगने लग गया मैं selfish हूँ, because I am not a, मैं bachelor नहीं हूँ या मैं professional athlete नहीं हूँ where my bread and
Hmm.
butter come from that. I'm a hobby athlete. Now I have obsessed, I have selfish. मैंने मेरी फैमिली को साइड पे डाल दिया,
Hmm.
because my wife is saying कि सैटरडे मूवी जाते हैं. मैं बोलूंगा नहीं यार कल सुबह इवेंट है करके.
Yeah.
So I have comfortably started ignoring their needs and things. So when you realize that point, एक point ऐसे आता है तो that bubble may burst into getting that fight हो जाएगा या कुछ आ जाएगा. But वो suddenly you will realize कि नहीं नहीं यार ये सही नहीं है करके.
Hmm.
Then you say कि मेरा obsession कम करना है मुझे. At the same time I have to still keep that thing. So then you start reducing your events.
Right.
Then you start running on a Saturday morning. Then you find solutions.
Right.
Start running on a Saturday morning ताकि
Absolutely.
Saturday evening आप free हो, family के साथ हो, दारू पी रहे हो तो fine. And Sunday morning you are waking up आराम से बच्चे के साथ
Hmm.
garden में घूम रहा है. But you have not compromised on your training. You change
Right.
your training days. So this all comes by experience. And
Experience.
for everything, the answer lies is that you have to be passionate about
Passion.
that sports or any sports which you play. So that is
Absolutely.
my take on this thing.
Yeah. I think beautifully put. I think I'll just summarize it for the people. If you're looking for timeless solutions for long-term fitness, I think number one is passion, and that passion will come from experimenting, trying new things, trying different sports. It could be CrossFit for you, it could be cycling, swimming, running, gym, yoga, whatever you can do. Try to do that. Try to go through the process for some time. You'll feel different stages will come in your life when you experience progression, you will experience disappointment, you will experience pain, selfishness, but eventually after the trough is crossed, you will see a bump in life which will change your personal life. You will start giving up on excuses, you will find time, you will wake up on time, you will make time for all of these things in life, and eventually it will become a routine. So eventually it will not be a big thing at all. You will just integrate this into your life. So I think beautifully
Exactly,
put.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
this becomes a life event for you.
yeah, yeah.
It's a
Lifestyle.
part of your lifestyle, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So I have one last question now. You have been doing a lot of work using your social media around creating awareness and helping people who are appearing for competitive exam for forces like NDA, CDS, Agniveer, SSB, Airman exams. So many people are coming and seeking your advice. What are some of the pointed, tips and tricks you want to give to this such individuals who are trying to get into the forces through different examinations? Any three, four, five things that they should focus on?
Yes. So see, if you see the way of joining the forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, or there are two entries. एक होता है कि officer entry. There is one thing called officer entry, and there is other soldier entry, Agniveer entry, या जो. Uh, many a time, our youth doesn't know कि officer entry क्या होता है या Agniveer entry क्या होता है. So
Mm,
I know that when I was in Fauj, I've seen many capable youngsters who were sailors,
mm,
who could
right.
have been an officer, excellent, but they were nobody to guide them. There is
Sure.
an officer entry. आप 12th के बाद NDA करके आ सकते हो करके.
Mm,
Nobody. So
mm,
first thing, what I would say to all the youngsters is that awareness.
mm,
Have the awareness. What are the type of entries are there, and how you want to go, where you want to go. So awareness is very important. Once you are aware कि मुझे कैसे जाना है, the second
mm,
thing comes is the knowledge, whatever.
mm.
So फौज में जाना है, तो the strongest thing you want to do is your current affairs has to be really strong.
Okay.
The interviews and other thing, papers everywhere, current affairs is given a lot of focus. And of course, health and fitness, so definitely it's an ingrained thing. To all
Sure.
those people who want to, health and fitness, especially not, spending much on costly equipments and other things. The body weight workouts जिसको बोलते हैं ना, the simple
Mm,
push-ups, pull-ups, and जो squats वगैरह हम मारते हैं, the body weight exercise. The
sure.
body weight exercise is important. Fourth thing I would advise that learn swimming.
Okay.
Swimming is the base of Army, Navy, Air Force. जहाँ भी जो Navy में तो compulsory है, but
Sure.
you have to learn swimming
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Because when you go into academies, swimming नहीं आता होगा, आपकी जान ले लेंगे वहां पर. They
I
teach
have
you hard
seen
way.
it.
They
I have
teach
seen
you
it.
hard way.
They'll just take you to the 10-meter one and throw you. Now
Exactly,
जब जाओ
exactly,
deep end पे खुद
exactly.
जाके
उसकी
सीखो.
बात. And I remember जो उस्ताद होते हैं ना, स्विमिंग ट्रंक को ऐसे खींच के, they will pull you down. All
Yeah.
your all your family jewels will be, अंदर एकदम तड़पता होगा, वैसे वाला सीन हो जाता है तभी. So swimming is important. And
Yeah.
fifth thing I would say is that don't get into any legal issues or police case or anything, because once a legal issue or police case happens, it comes in your record, and then
Yeah.
you cannot appear for any exams or things like that. And if you are, you never know, you get entangled in that system,
Sure.
paise dena padega and all those things. So don't get
Sure.
into that. Last but not the least, also ensure that you don't meet with any accidents or things like that.
Sure.
जैसे
Sure.
यंग होते हैं तो स्पीड का थ्रिल होता है, बाइक एंड ऑल. वंस यू मीट विथ एन एक्सीडेंट या रॉड वगैरह कुछ चढ़ गया या कुछ हो गया, तो योर करियर, यू कैन नॉट ऑप्ट फॉर द आर्म फोर्सेस, राइट? So these are the few 5-6 tips which I would give. And practice self-discipline, practice uh, being empathical, practice being a Fauji from the day you decide that I want to join the armed forces.
Yeah.
उस दिन self-taught Fauji पहले ही बनना चाहिए. So that is my advice for all the youngsters, whoever are planning to join the armed forces. And last but not the least, again the same thing, passion.
Passion.
Have that passion to join the forces.
Beautiful. I think for the help of the audience, I'll just summarize what you just said. Few tips and tricks for people who are preparing for forces, any kind of exams. Number one is to know what kind of exam that you have, what options you have. You can go for an officer entry, Jawan entry, Agniveer entry. So research, know कि क्या options आपके पास available हैं. नंबर वन. नंबर टू, अपनी जनरल नॉलेज और अपनी सब्जेक्ट मैटर को घोल के पी जाओ, जितना पढ़ सकते हो, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो, सारी चीजें आप उसको अपनी जीके को स्ट्रॉन्ग करो. नंबर थ्री, आपने बताया कि हेल्थ एंड फिटनेस के ऊपर अपना ध्यान दो, अपने 5K 10K करो, बॉडी वेट एक्सरसाइजेस करो, पुल अप पुशअप, ये सारी चीजें आप करिए. फोर्थ है कि आप किसी लीगल टैंगल में मत फंसिए, डिसिप्लिन लॉ अबाइडिंग सिटीजन रहिए फ्रॉम द वेरी young age. Do not seek the temporary cheap thrills which are speed or pickpocketing or anything like that. Just become a law abiding citizen. Fifth is would like to add, fifth was regarding your do not have a bad track record. I think if I'm correct, yeah, have a clean record, and have passion about life. And the last, which is most important, is have uh, passion. Start envisaging in your mind that you want to become an armored personnel. So start acting like it, start behaving in a way. तो जो चीज अगर आप दिन में दिमाग में बिठा लेते हो तो वो एक्चुअली ग्राउंड पे भी हो जाती है. Anything I'm missing here?
No, perfect. That was a perfect summarization.
Absolutely. I hope this really adds value. Last but not the least, Lieutenant Commander Bijay Nair, if there is a billboard which can be seen by 1 billion people, and this is my favorite question, what message would you like to leave to the world if there is a billboard which can be seen by 1 billion people?
So I have this favorite quote. You will find in most of my talks and all, and I still it stands to be favorite. Till something else replace or something else will be much more impactful. So this phrase is by Swami Sukhbodhananda. I don't know whether I had narrated that in that TED talk which we were together. So
Yes.
this phrase goes: experience the experience of experiencing an experience. Experience the experience of experiencing an experience. So
Wow.
so anything and everything we do is an experience.
Yeah.
And the journey of our life is that we have to experience that experience,
That experience.
to get an experience.
Absolutely.
Entire facet of life is defined in this beautiful quote. And if I see a billboard like what you see, if I see a billboard now somewhere around the place where I say, that would be the quote I would love to see.
Wow. Wow. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. You've been so kind with your decades of experience from the Indian Navy, from being a leader in the civilian life, from being an ultra runner. I am truly indebted. I hope the audience can really find some value in the conversation. और जैसे आप मेरे को अभी भी याद है जब हम जून में मिले थे हमारी टेड टॉक के लिए TEDx NKC में, तो आपने एक चीज बोली थी कि अगर हमारे वर्ड से और एक्शन से कुछ लोग भी इंस्पायर हो जाएं, so I think we have done our job. So I really hope that it inspires a few people to take up and change their lives through fitness, ultra fitness, and longevity.
Yeah, thanks, Nishant, and thanks for getting me on your beautiful talk show. And I'm sure I'll wait for this episode. And as you rightly said, both of us, in some way or the other, we are inspiring people to take up, fitness as a journey and see a life with a difference, with a difference. So I'm sure this talk, both of our inputs will definitely add some value to somebody's life. And if that happens, the purpose of this 1 hour which we have spent, or 1 hour plus which we have spent, will be, fruitfully gained. So Jain, thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank you for being so generous with your thoughts and philosophies. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed our episode, I will be putting Lieutenant Commander's Bijay Nair's Instagram handle and everything in the description. Please go and follow him. You will be inspired. Go watch his TED Talks, and I will bring you amazing, equally amazing guest for the next episode. Till that time, train, endure, conquer in your lives. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Nishant. Thank you, Jai Hind. Bye.